It's Moo Man.
Moo Man. Moo Man?
This is not a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Moo Man. It is Moo Man on the mic.
What is going on? Yes, it's your man, Moo Man, on the mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything celebrity news, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's do it. Okay, listen, it's a serious shout out right now. Shout out to Chop It Up with Pops. He is a staple of the community that I come from, of hip hop, of the culture of Minneapolis. He's a Midwest legend. He's a Midwest celebrity in my eyes. Now, I've never met him personally, but we travel in the same circles. We know some of the same people, and he is a staple in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the culture of hip hop and all things herbal. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's going into a situation right now, a surgery. You know, it's a heart surgery, and it definitely is a serious surgery, especially when it's pertaining to your heart. All surgeries are serious, but when it pertains to your heart, it's particular. You know what I'm saying? As we all know. So shout out to Chop It Up with Pops for remaining strong, vigilant, and my prayers go out to you. Inshallah, you make it through that surgery. Let's get into the headline hero. Okay, the headline hero is Mental Health Awareness Month. As we know, that Mental Health Awareness Month is all May long. Every episode in May is the hero, which is mental health. And I gotta tell you, our mental health is tested on a daily basis. I'm not saying things that people don't already know. Some people's mental sensitivities are more sensitive than others. My mental sensitivities are sensitive in a particular kind of ways with particular kind of topics. You see what I'm saying? Ranging from ancient history, present economics, social sciences. I'm a social scientist myself. I consider myself as such. You see what I'm saying? And the ideologies that we share shape our belief systems. Our moral reality or moralities shape our personal realities or personalities that we have with each other within the social realm. You see what I'm saying? Which means our mental sensitivities clash all the time through our auras, in which our chakras release, through our electromagnetic energy, which is the scientific terms of our auras. You see what I'm saying? And everything else that's related to it. The way that we speak, the frequency, sound, and vibrations of our voice, all of that plays into our mental health and triggers our mental sensitivities. And I urge and encourage everyone to be kind to one another. Be truthful. Live in your truth, no matter how bittersweet it may be for some. But be kind. Explain yourself with intellect, with diligence, with dignity, even if someone is being indignant towards you. And our mental health will flourish all the more. You see what I'm saying? Let us get into the headline hunting. Okay, let's do it. Drake shares petition to pardon Tory Lanez, along with 9 other artists have shared a petition to pardon Tory Lanez, including Ye, Ty Dolla $ign, Amber Rose, Trippie Redd, Kodak Black, Popcaan, Joyner Lucas, and Boogie with the Hoodie. Lanez was convicted of shooting the Houston hottie Megan the Stallion in 2023, but has repeatedly protested his innocence and sought to get his conviction overturned, to little success. In a new post on TikTok, Megan aimed at a number of remarks at Lanez for continuing to pursue the case. She said, and I quote, "At what point are y'all gonna stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans gonna stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day?" She continues, "1 minute y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again and say that I was shot, but it wasn't by him. Okay." Megan then continues, "I'm sick of this shit. Leave me the fuck alone. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he shot me, and that was his choice because he knows that he did that shit. I don't give a fuck about a blog or a bot. Why in the fuck would me, Megan the Stallion, have to lie on this motherfucker about shooting me? Why would she protect the girl that was with her, who everyone is claiming that shot her? It's Kelsey. Why would she protect her?" You see what I'm saying? I mean, these are the things that people have been saying. You see what I'm saying? And I'm inclined to agree to a certain degree. You see what I'm saying? But I'm always going to stick up for my black brothers, okay? We're going to see where that goes in the next couple weeks. Headline hunting, Chris Brown denied bail over assault charges. An article by Sam Moore. Chris Brown has denied bail in the UK after being arrested for allegedly assaulting a man in a nightclub 2 years ago. Last week, Brown was taken into custody and charged with grievous bodily harm with intent before appearing in court Friday. Okay, during the hearing, the prosecution opposed bail for Brown, which was granted by the judge as the R&B singer looked on. It was also revealed that the alleged incident was captured on CCTV and described as extremely serious, you understand, by the prosecutor. It is alleged that Brown assaulted music producer Abe Diawu at Tape nightclub in London in 2023. That same year, Diawu filed a lawsuit against the controversial R&B singer, alleging Brown had inflicted severe and lasting injuries on him after beating him over the head with a bottle of tequila. This is crazy, all right? The context is pretty damning, all right? As previously reported by Radar Online, Brown and his entourage went on to Tape nightclub at Hanover Square in London after his performance at the O2 Arena as part of his European run on the Under the Influence tour. Y'all remember that tour, don't you? Brown was also accused of ruthlessly stomping Diawu's head while he was on the ground, which resulted in him being knocked unconscious. Alright, it is not known if the lawsuit was settled between the two parties. It was reported at the time that police attempted to speak to Brown about the incident, but he left the country before he could be questioned. Brown has previously been banned from entering the UK following his conviction for assaulting Rihanna. Y'all remember that? The ban on Brown lasted over a decade before it was lifted by former Home Security Secretary Priti Patel in 2020. And no one knows why she lifted that ban. But I can imagine, being the superstar that Chris Brown is, the economic impacts that mega stars like Chris Brown, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Bono, U2, and the like has lasting economic impact for multitudes of business opportunities and strategies when you plan for these mega, bigger than life concerts. It goes down the list, you know what I'm saying? It's more than what I've just named, but there's reasons why, you know, governments and countries would lift those kind of bans. That's my personal opinion. Don't quote me on it. I'm just saying Chris Brown is a superstar, but he makes terrible choices. We're going to see if he is redeemed by them choices later on down the line. You see what I'm saying? Straight up. He has my vote. You know what I mean? That's for sure. You don't have to prove to be a good person. You just have to be one. Those were his words in an interview. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to move on. Headline hunting. Taraji P. Henson says Hollywood lied to me about black movies and TV not selling overseas. Spent years being grateful and getting paid less. Not anymore, though. An article by Zach Sheriff. Taraji P. Henson joined Stacey L. Smith, founder of the Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, at the Cannes Film Festival for a Caring Woman in Motion talk, in which Oscar nominee spoke honestly about course correcting her priorities in Hollywood. Henson recently took a month off from work and relocated to Bali after feeling discouraged by the film and TV industry machine. She goes on to say, sometimes in the industry you make it about trophies and the awards, and that's never why I got into it. Henson added, I came into this to change lives. The art saved me. I was a little black girl in the hood in DC during the crack epidemic. I'm supposed to be a statistic. I wasn't supposed to make it out, but I did. And she brought the numbers, okay? Smith brought data to the conversation that supported Smith's frustration with Hollywood. Smith noted that while 54% of the top 100 movies of last year prominently featured girls and women, only 13% were women of color, and only 1% featured a woman of color 45 years or older. You see what I'm saying? Tell me that that is not a level or form of financial discrimination, of artistic discrimination. You see what I'm saying? Of blind sight. You know, all of that. You know what I mean? I understand what Taraji B. Henson is going through. You see what I'm saying? And everyone has their obstacles. I'm kind of upset that there's not more women of color within the industry that got her back. Some of them do, but then they flake it off. Some of them just ignore her. She's been saying this for years now. You see what I'm saying? As Henson re-enters Hollywood with new perspective, she said she is embracing the freedom of doing what she wants to do and not being controlled by the industry or the machine. Okay, she next stars in the Netflix drama film Straw, streaming June 6th, produced by Tyler Perry, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, you know it's going to be a hit. Now, I know that Tyler Perry gets flack by saying that he only casts black women playing the same roles over and over again. I get it. People say that he writes the same movie in slightly different ways over and over again. I get it. But he's not going to stop doing what the Most High clearly wants him to do, which is the reason why he owns one of the biggest TV and movie studios in the country. Okay, one of the few black men who has that level of opportunity and financial worth to own movie studios next to Cat Williams and 50 Cent. All right, understand this. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to be mad at the particular of the politics and at the same time make sure that you have their back, and at least in a moral sense. You know what I mean? In the moral sense, we are here as artists, as creators, as black artists and black creators. We're always getting shadow banned off of TikTok. We're always getting our trends, our hashtags stolen all the time, revamped, remixed. We're sick of it. We got to create our own conglomeration machine away from Hollywood. We got to get to the holy wood, okay, and start burning that instead of having these illusions and these fantasies that we need. You know what I'm saying? The appreciations and the acknowledgments of certain people. They're not creators or actors in my eyes. They're hardly creators. The new age of creators have begun, and that leading the charge is Kai Cenat, and that's a fact. All right, and the multitude of expert creators right behind them, beside him, and probably over him. They just need to get more airtime. All right, we're in the back of the house headline. All right, Jimmy Kimmel canceled his whole show last night. All right, to avoid promoting Jack Tapper's Biden book. The reason CNN, Jack Tapper was scheduled as a guest to promote his new book, Original Sin. All right, the book painted Joe as a feeble and a liar about his mental and physical condition during the 2024 campaign. And as y'all know, he just recently got diagnosed prostate cancer. Kimmel, an avowed liberal and fan of Biden, obviously wasn't going to go through with the interview. Okay, that's why he canceled it. But I don't think he should have canceled it, because we have to have two sides of the story. We have to have competing arguments. That's how new knowledge is created. New sciences are discovered. New moral respect for one another. I mean, the opposite is not the same thing as an argument, okay? Jacob Paul Tapper, if y'all didn't know who he was, is an American journalist. He is the lead Washington anchor for CNN, host of weekday television news show The Lead with Jack Tapper, and co-host the Sunday morning public affairs program State of the Union. All right, now tonight's show is set to proceed as planned. For anyone who's catching this podcast before it comes on, some have speculated that Kimmel canceled because his daughter Kate might have given birth. But that wouldn't stop an expensive taping of a live network TV show, would it? No. Even Ricky Ricardo finished the performance before his kid was born. And Jimmy is the grandparent. All right, it's not like he was helping with the delivery. We know why. All right, Jack Tapper says the media didn't cover up Biden Original Sin. We were just lied to. You see what I'm saying? And we've been lied to. How can you run for president knowing that you're combating cancer? Knowing that a mortality level in your mind is at the highest it's ever been, brushing with the idea of death, that's going to make you make irrational choices no matter where you're working at. And you're working at the most coveted job on the planet Earth, the President of the United States of America. Need I say more? All right. I will leave y'all to decide that, because in my personal opinion, if you don't pass a physical, I feel like you shouldn't be in any kind of government office, all the way down to the CPS. And I feel like CPS, if you're working for them, you need to be voted in. The social psychological pressures of children, the socioeconomic relationships that you have to develop within the CPS organization, within governmental organizations, that will take a toll. And as usual, it's your man Moo Man on the mic. Thank y'all for listening to the episode, and I will see y'all on the next episode. Let's go.
I don't mean no disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you, I do